Oh, I know you would. What I would love to see, Gatlin versus Bolt.
Ooh,
Yeah, yeah,
hey, I like that.
yeah. I think we need to do that.
That'd be
And we
good.
can't be like, well, Bolt's old now. Justin's way older than Bolt.
I'll line up.
Oh, I know you would. What I would love to see, Gatlin versus Bolt.
What's up, everybody? Mr. 100K a day in the flesh. And today, on the biggest hater in track and field, sports betting and gambling, we're going to be talking about Anson Henry. Now, Anson Henry just did an episode on Sprint Culture Live called Let Sydney Run. He just gets on there and rants and talks about the one-on-one race between Carson Warholm and Mondo Duplantis. And I feel like, once again, guys like Anson Henry are the reason why track and field sucks and the reason why the sport fails. Because we have people who claim to be the voices of track and field, who claim to be media personalities for track and field and representatives of track and field, having a voice, but when they use their voice, they talk like trash. Number one, to listen to this guy go on and on about Duplantis and Warholm running the 100-meter dash, I think is absolutely garbage, because we should be turning this event down. Nobody wants to see a pole vaulter and a 400-meter hurdler go one-on-one and run a prime time race at an event like that and everybody watching and big it up in it. We want to see some real talent out there. How about seeing Sidney McLaughlin, Femke Bol, all those heavy hitters run a 300? Paulino, Sawa Inez, all them running 300. That'd be a race we want to see. Pay for that. That's something we want to see. This dude on here talking about this is like Donovan versus Michael Johnson. Man, if you don't shut up, man, this is why I hate these track and field dudes. We got to rid track and field these dudes, man, these media guys, because they really suck. They hurt the sport. And I feel like guys like Anson Henry, he represents everything wrong with track and field. The feminization, the demasculization of the sport. Things have changed a lot, and it's very disappointing. It's very sad. And then this doofus cornball has the nerve to say that last year Paulino wasn't going to beat Sydney to the World Championships because Paulino only beat Sydney at one race last year. I think this guy really doesn't even understand track and field. Number one, we've seen Sydney run her rounds, and she's never really had to challenge herself at flat speed. She gets to run easy 52 seconds, easy 53 seconds. Then in the final, she gets to drop the gauntlet. But having to run 49, 49, 48, 49, 48, 48, or something along those lines to make your body do that, you don't know what your body may do in the final. So sit here and say that Sydney would not have ran. Sydney would have definitely beat Paulino. Completely ridiculous, because you don't know what a person would do once they're pushed. At the same time, you don't know what a person's body would do when they have to push it to the limit even more. Sydney McLaughlin does not have to run full out. She only runs full out when it comes to the finals. She could easily jog a 52, 53 second 400-meter hurdle and qualify for the opening round, semifinals, and finals. She ain't got to drop the gauntlet to the finals. So for this guy to make the statements in which he does is a total misrepresentation of the facts and a total poor analysis of the facts and circumstances that happen in track and field. And this is one reason why I don't respect Canadian guys to begin with. I don't respect them because they are completely delusional when it comes to track and field. You run like Anson Henry's PR, as we all know. He ran some BS 10-1s twice in his entire career. But for the most part, he went to the Olympics and ran 10-3. He was a 10-2, 10-3 guy. He ran 10-3 at the Olympics. He went to multiple world championships, and he ran 10-2. So I feel like once you've been traumatized and watch guys like Usain Bolt stop running 60, 70 meters into the race and run 9-6, and you're there running 10-2, 10-3, that's got to be traumatizing. So I believe that type of event occurring to you, it taints your perspective of track and field. It taints your ability to reasonably analyze facts and circumstances and statistics. I liken it to a situation where a person has had something bad happen to them and they go through post-traumatic stress. So what happens is every time something happens or a door slams or a loud noise happens, they jump and they're petrified. And that's what I believe happens to Anson Henry. He sees anything happen great in track and field, knowing he's from Canada, knowing they're soft Canadians, knowing that they get their doors blown off on the regular. They only get a great athlete or decent athlete every 10 to 25 years, as we've seen with Ben Johnson, who got busted, Donovan Bailey. Then we didn't see anybody who came close to Donovan Bailey for 20 years. So Andre DeGrasse, and Andre DeGrasse is, for all intent and purposes, mediocre as a pro, with the exception of his one, gold medal in the 200 at the fake Olympics in 2021. Andre DeGrasse hasn't really accomplished anything except a bunch of coming from behind, bronze medal. He's fighting for bronze for the most part. And he married somebody who got hooked up with somebody else, Michael Tinsley's baby mama. And that's not nothing to be proud of. So guys like Anson Henry, excuse me, cannot be respected. And no Canadian guy that I know of can be respected in track and field. None of these guys. Their analysis is poor. Their facts are diluted. And like I said, a lot of these guys are traumatized and abused track and field athletes. Abused by the sport, abused by the fans, and abused by the culture. And one of my biggest points of contention with this guy is he made this entire stream titled Let Sydney Run, right? And one of the things that bothered me the most is, here we are once again, you want to bend the rules. He called her the queen. How is she the queen? What is she the queen of? Anson, what is she the queen of? The 400-meter hurdles? The 400-meter hurdles, everybody. Everybody know what my position is. It's the sprinter's graveyard. Sydney McLaughlin, it would be a talented sprinter, right? But she doesn't run the sprints. She runs a sprint hurdle race. And what she does is she runs a race that traditionally failed or low performing or talentless sprinters run, which is the 400-meter hurdles. It's the graveyard for sprinters. So Sydney McLaughlin really is overrated, if you ask me. Sydney McLaughlin is really an overrated, is a person, it'd be equivalent to, excuse me, Sydney McLaughlin running the 400-meter hurdles is equivalent to Mike Tyson moving down to cruiserweight and then saying I'm the champion of the world. It's a joke. Mike Tyson, what he fought? 212, 200, low 200s when he was champion? Okay. If we got down to cruiserweight and knocked them guys out, would that be impressive? Absolutely not. So he's saying he don't care about the rules. He don't care about this. He don't care about that. Dude, use a clown. Use a clown. The stuff you talk about is ridiculous. Nobody believes you. Have no credibility in this sport. And what I hope that you guys do is I hope you guys push to get guys like Anson Henry, these other soft Canadian guys like him and Aaron Brown from Canada. Get these guys out of the sport. These guys don't belong in the sport. They have no credibility. And they've been traumatized deeply by track and field. And I hope that none of the policies, none of the things that they implement or they try to implement in the sport come into fruition. Because these guys really have a disgusting mentality. They have a disgusting mindset, and they have a bunch of disgusting ideas and principles. Because there's no reason why this guy should be pushing for Sydney McLaughlin to run. And when she hasn't run any Diamond League races, that's a slap in the face. Whatever happened to rule of law? Rule of law matters, man. Rule of law matters. So, I did a video on Anson a few months ago. It was talking about him being the number one meat rider. And this is another example of it. Instead of following rules and principles, he goes on a popular person who's popular for inflated BS reasons, the 400-meter hurdles, like I've said, and says the rules should be bent or modified for her. He's a disgrace. He's a disgrace, guys. And this is the reason why I want to make sure that we push guys like this out of the sport and out of track and field media because they don't belong. Not at all. As a matter of fact, we know how he talk. We know how he get down. He too busy praising. I want to see Gatlin versus Bolt. I'm gone, y'all. Mr. 100K a day, another episode of The Biggest Hater in Track and Field. Till next time. Peace.
Well, I know you would. What I would love to see, Gatlin versus Bolt.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey, I like that.
Yeah. I think we need to do that.